Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday. It is June 10th. We're getting ready to do a little planting. You know, we found, you know what I say, repurpose. That's my theme wherever I go, repurpose. We found some buckets. I got a feeling, I'm just going to let you guess what people were doing with these buckets. But we found a bunch of them, and of course it's plastic. Instead of throwing them away, we're getting rid of this gravel. So I'm going to take this gravel. This is planting the non-Monsanto way. Today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen, is a tribute to Monsanto. Of course, Monsanto this week, the merger. We got some news though. It may not be a done deal. There's a couple hurdles left, but some people are pretty confident that Monsanto is by the wayside. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Time will tell on that. But let's take a look at what we're doing here. We got all these plants here. We're going to plant them around the patio here. You can see we got a little mess, but we're going to plant stuff all around here to go with that stuff there. I got some bulbs over here, some gladiolas, some shooting stars, some pepper plants, and some geraniums, some petunias there, and of course the lambs here. Spearmint, you know me and my mints. Spearmint. We got, and of course my chilies, of course. Something's got on them. I'm gonna have to get my vinegar out and see if they like it, huh? But you can see a little drainage. I'm gonna make some soil with some topsoil and some mixes, and of course put all these plants in, and we'll have a little thing, and we'll get you some pictures of that next week. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, the big news, let's touch a little on property preservation before we get out of here. Oh yeah, and this bucket here, that's going to be food in one of them for one of these plants. I don't know which one's going to get that, but we'll find out. That's how we feed our plants. We don't need all the garbage. Anyways, let's come over here for just a minute here. Let's flip this around. I don't know if you can see me here today, folks. I don't know. I'm here. But, of course, the big news of property preservation, we can't find out. We've tied a company to a loan company, a financing company, if you will, but we got no credibility there. So I've had a couple people do some searching for me, and we can't find anything about CPB funding being properly licensed to be loaning money, number one. And number two, they're not properly licensed as a general contractor. As I said, I checked Missouri, I checked California, I checked Nevada. They're not in any one of those states. 3 of the 24 they're claiming to be general contractors in. So we'll be reporting that. We'll be having conversations with state attorney generals tomorrow and see where that goes, Secretary of State, to find out why they're not, but yet they claim to be. And of course, the big news this week, and I think some people have misunderstood what happened. We'll get to that in just a minute, but the Department of Justice green-lighted the Bayer-Monsanto merger. $63 billion. Can you fathom that? Where's Bayer getting that money to buy a company over here? And is it an antitrust violation? A lot of people believe it is. A lot of people believe it's an antitrust violation. Let me just give you, out of 68, there's 68 companies that Monsanto owns. I'll just give you a sampling of those companies. Campbell's, Famous Amos, Aurora Foods, Post Cereals, Ore-Ida. How about the Green Giant? How about ConAgra, Nabisco, Duncan Hines, Nature Valley, Quaker, Kellogg's, Kraft, V8 Hunts, Uncle Ben's. Come on. Nature Valley? A Monsanto company? Yeah, those oats aren't sprayed with glyphosate, are they? Neither is Quaker, by the way. Oh, oops. Forgot about that. But let's stop for just a minute and look at a couple things here. We have, let me see here. We have the company, Monsanto spokes, or actually the head chickadera for Monsanto, Hugh Grant, right? Hugh Grant stated that Monsanto is more focused on the innovation than the politics of this merger. And Liam Condon of Bayer, he's pretty confident because the companies have highly complementary products. Really? Really? So let's back up for just a minute here. And let's talk about some of these products. Let's talk about the GMO versus organic for just a minute. I know my buddy over there at No Ideas Media, he has a different take on things, a little bit, not too much, but a little. More complimentary to the GMO world than I am, because I look at things in a different light. I just don't believe any of the research that's out there when it comes from websites like the Genetic Literacy Project. It's a industry-funded propaganda website. But let's take a look at something for just a minute. There can be no questions now that the ruse to get these GMO products green-lighted like that with no testing is a lie. There can be no questions. They're not feeding the world. They are not more nutritional. They're not solving any nutrition crisis. Our ignorant individuals at the FDA and whoever else green-lighted gold, red, what is it? Gold rice or whatever, yellow rice, red rice. It's a lie. It's a lie. This is nothing more than pecuniary greed at the highest levels of corporate America and our government. Make no mistake about that, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake about that. And this merger would allow more control over things. Therefore, before anything else is done, there are 30 global markets that have antitrust regulations. That hurdle has not been hurdled, if you will. That hasn't been overcome yet. So there's still a serious question of antitrust. And I ask you right now, whom do your elected officials represent? Whom do your elected officials represent? Please tell me, is it Monsanto and Bayer, or is it you? Time to make your voice heard, ladies and gentlemen, because one of the other ruses was we were going to use less chemicals. That's right, they're going to use less of their number one selling product to sell you this garbage, and now they're using 15 times more. That's a 150% increase, 1,500%, it's outrageous. The amount of chemicals they're using before they started greenlighting this stuff. The majority of this technology, and don't let this CRISPR and this gene editing, it's a different element. Is it genetically modified? Yeah, they're modifying stuff, but this is, they're playing with Mother Nature. It's very frustrating because I'm the crackpot, but yet the people that have tried to discuss the health crisis in this country want to tell you that correlation is not causation, but excuse me, it is. When you can directly tie the use of a chemical to an increase in a disease, that is causation, you morons. Or as one of my favorite people would say, what a maroon. Yeah, what a maroon. And I ask again, why don't we have a labeling initiative? Why aren't we having proper labeling on our food? GMO and organic, regardless of what the sham and a scam Kevin Folta says. The industry shill prove me wrong, Mr. Folta, you liar. Regardless of what he says, organic and GMO cannot coexist because the GMO is created to withstand chemicals, and the organic is a natural process that you do by what I'm getting ready to do, make dirt for my plants. Put rotted food, rotted old pineapple shavings, some old mango shells, some eggshells, some coffee grounds, make some dirt. Put the worms in there so they put natural nitrogen in the soil. Yeah, that, heaven forbid that they've only been doing that for 100 million years, ladies and gentlemen. Heaven forbid it works. The research was paid for. It was cherry-picked and it was bought and paid for. And people that were involved are people like I just hammered on, Kevin Folta. He took money, he got money to do something from Monsanto and wrote papers for them. Prove me wrong. Tell me I'm lying, Mr. Folta. Tell me I'm lying, because you can't. You can't. Oh, by the way, this guy just resigned, so look for him to show up somewhere in one of the science departments at Bayer Monsanto. 30 global jurisdictions. They have put up a $2 billion anti-breakup fee if the deal falls apart, ladies and gentlemen. So the deal is not a done deal. And I truly hope, if you haven't seen No Idea Media's dedication, you got to get over there. It'll give you a chuckle. It's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. But as I said, Hugh Grant, he's more focused on the innovation than the politics of this deal. I say that there really isn't no politics involved here. There isn't any politics involved here. This is about controlling the food supply. That's all this is about, ladies and gentlemen. Now that we have, say what you will, but a president that is making America first, telling these other countries, hey, you're living on our dime, we're cutting it off, we're not doing this anymore, it's time for you to stand on your own 2 feet. Maybe we'll get some elected officials that will actually represent their constituents, unlike Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, all the idiots from California. Well, there's a couple of these. Daryl Ice is okay. There are a few respectable politicians. I apologize to the ones in California that do their job, but the ones I mentioned don't. They're there for, they went and made themselves millionaires in Washington, D.C., and that's not how Washington, D.C. is supposed to work. That said, I will ask again, whom do your elected officials represent? I don't know. I don't know. Are they representing you? Or are they representing big corporate America? Are they shilling for the companies? Personally, I think lobbying should be banned. They should not be able to go lobby to get legislation to favor their company. That is not how our government was set up to be run. Our government was set up to be run for the people, by the people, of the people, not of the corporations, for the corporations. Something to think about when you go to the voting booth, and something to start asking now that election time is ramping up. Whom do your elected officials represent? Does it take a rocket scientist, ladies and gentlemen? Doesn't take a rocket scientist, does it? But as you can see, these plants were dying when we brought them home. They were all brown and wilted. I said, hey, for 50 cents, I can make those plants live. Look at them now. Look at them now. I always go buy the plants that they're throwing away because they didn't know how to take care of them. That's what I do, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I do. As you can see, we got a gorgeous sunshine. I'm getting ready to go to a place called Reed Springs. We're going to look at a creek on some property and see about growing some crops over there. You never know. You never know. You never know. We got some other stuff here we're going to plant too. Looks like that buddy there needs some water, huh? Little hens and chicks. I got a little basil to get down in there, and of course there's my elephant here. And we're going to put this guy to work here in a little while, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to put this guy to work in a little while. Hey, if you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up. Yeah, and like I said, you got to check Nick's. He lost a buddy in Monsanto. Go check out that video, man. It's a 2-minute video, guaranteed to put a smile on your face. Just plug your ears because, boy, he sings about as bad as I do. Nah, actually, I think I might be able to be a worse singer, vocalist than Nick. He can play guitar, though. He can play a little. Maybe him and I'll have to get together, play a song someday. Who knows? You never know. You never know. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope your weekend has been a good one. Mine is, I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast. You know I do everywhere I go. Let's have a great night. Let's all be safe out there.